practice, practice, practice. That's what is going to help you in the writing test. Hello, my name is Sunita Karyan. Welcome to this video on IELTS Writing Task 1 test tips. So what do you get in the IELTS writing test? You get two tasks. Task 1 is different for the academic and general training students, and task 2 is similar. So in task 2, you're asked to write an essay, and in task 1, the academic students get a visual input. Like if you are the academic student, then you should summarize the information given in that visual input. And if you are the general training student, then you'll get a letter in your task 1. It can be a formal, informal, or semi-formal letter. And whether it is the academic writing task 1 or the general training writing task 1, for both, you should write at least 150 words. So what do you get in the IELTS academic writing task 1? Let's understand that, what kind of graphs you can get, and how you should write this answer. As I told you, you get a visual input, which can be a line graph, a bar graph, a pie chart, a map, table, or a process. And you're asked to write at least 150 words. So whatever information is given in the visual input given to you, you should summarize that information. How should you summarize that? What all should you include in your answer? So how should you write your academic writing task 1 response? In paragraph 1, you just paraphrase the question. Like the graph illustrates or the chart depicts, whatever it depicts, write that in one sentence. And if some years are mentioned, like 2002, 2010, that way, mention the years that have been mentioned over there, from which year to which year. Like the information is given from 1950 to 2000, that way. Mention the years. Or maybe if it's about two different years, something about 2000 is given, something about 2010 is given. Or if it's a prediction about the future also, just mention that. And in case there are some values, if the information is given in percentage or dollars or euros, whatever it may be, you mention that also. So in all, your first paragraph includes 2 or 3 sentences. Then you move on to paragraph 2. Now from paragraph 2 onwards, you need to take care of the tense. In the first paragraph, you should have only present simple tense. You can have it in active voice or passive voice. So when I say the graph illustrates, this is active voice. If I say this information is illustrated, then that is passive voice. But both are in present simple tense. But paragraph 2 onwards, you should have the tense according to the time mentioned in the visual input. If it's about something that is there all the time, or maybe it's the average of every year, then you have the present tense. Otherwise, the past or the present perfect, the future tense, according to the time mentioned in the question. So in paragraph 2, you give an overview. Overview means you just mention the general trends, the most general trends. You do not give detailed description in paragraph 2. You do not mention the values also in paragraph 2. And include the most striking features over here. So whichever are the most striking features, you give detailed description of those features in paragraph 3. Include the values, how much percentage or how many dollars or whatever it is. You have to draw a comparison between 2 or 3 things given to you. So use that kind of language comparatively, as compared to, on the contrary, however, and if things are similar, then similarly, likewise. Take care of your vocabulary. There may be a surge in something, spike in something, so use a range of vocabulary. how should you write the general training writing task 1 response? So in the general training task 1 also, you're asked to write at least 150 words. Now, how do you get the letter over here? A situation is given to you and you get instructions about the points to be included in your letter. There are 3 points, 3 bullet points that are given to you based on that situation. You must include all the points in your letter. Have different paragraphs for different points. Otherwise, you'll get a low band score. And as I told you earlier, there are 3 types of letters: formal, semi-formal, or informal. Accordingly, you have the salutation and the leave taking out. For instance, if it's the formal letter, then you're going to write dear sir or madam, because you do not know the gender also of that person. And then at the bottom, you write yours faithfully. But if it's a semi-formal, you can just write dear and put the first name over there, and then yours sincerely. If it's the informal letter, hi, hello, and lots of love, take care, you end the letter that way. Here also paragraphs are needed. As I told you, 3 paragraphs for 3 bullet points. So paragraph 2 is the first point with detail. Paragraph 3 is the second point with detail. Paragraph 4 in your letter is the final point with detail. That's the third one. So what is included in the paragraph 1? It's just the opening statement. That means you just write reasons for writing. Why are you writing to somebody? Get that answer in just 1 sentence. Maybe 2 sentences, not more than that. If it's a formal letter, then in the first paragraph, you should also introduce yourself. A brief introduction of self should be given. Not the name, but whatever your introduction is according to the situation. And then in paragraph 5, you mention what you want the other person to do, your expectation from the other person. So that becomes the closing statement. So just 1 sentence over here will do. And then of course the signing off. So this is the way you should structure your letter. Now here, if it's a formal letter, you use formal language. If it's an informal letter, like when you write to your friends and relatives, obviously you can use the contracted forms also, and you use informal language. How are you assessed in IELTS Writing Task 1, whether it's the academic or the general training test? So there are 4 criteria. The first is the task achievement. Task achievement means whatever points are included. Do you answer all those? Do you include all valid information? Do you mention all the key features in your response? So you get points for that. And do you mention that information accurately? There has to be accuracy also. So 25% for this. Coherence and cohesion, even in a letter, how you link your points, how you move from one point to another. So that coherence should be there. Cohesion should be there. Use the linkers also. Then lexical resource. Lexical resource, the vocabulary that you use. Use a range of vocabulary. For instance, in the academic writing task 1, if you get some map or a graph, things can be stable, things can fluctuate, like temperature can fluctuate, it can be stable. So use the words accordingly. There can be a surge in something or a spike in something. There can be a fall in something, increase, decrease. And grammatical range and accuracy, it really matters because your tense is extremely important. You have to use the tenses according to the requirement of the question. Many students go wrong with the past perfect and the present perfect tenses. And even when you have to predict something about future, the future perfect tenses. So practice all the tenses, especially the perfect tenses. And of course, for the writing test, you need practice. Practice, practice, practice. That's what is going to help you in the writing test. And with practice, thousands of students have already got a good band score, so why not you? All the best for your exam.